Welcome everybody to the third episode of the Landsmeet. I am once again joined by Marshall, the CFO of Jackdaw Journalism. Marshall, say hi.
All right, don't put that much pressure on me. Actually. But it's good. It's good to be back. Yeah, you let me out of the basement after last episode. So
After
now
Lucas.
After you banished me for not playing Anthem. So now I'm back.
So that's the whole point of Landsmeet. It's just to be as experimental as possible. We don't know what we're doing, but hey, that's the fun part. But today we actually have our first ever official guest. You know, I've talked to Lucas before on the channel, and me and Marshall are great friends. But now we actually have our first official guest, and that is Lisa.
Hello. Thank you for having me, by the way. Yeah, I'm happy to be here.
No, thank you so much. Like, just kicking this off and just having people be like yourself, be like, oh, I'd love to come on and just talk to you guys about Dragon Age. That's just amazing. That's what this is all about. And honestly, we're so excited just to talk with you and just to interact, like, you know, in this fashion. So thank you so much for being the first. And I guess we're just going to swing into this like usual, just so we can get to know a bit more about you, Lisa. What does Dragon Age mean to you? From just a general sense.
Well, Dragon Age is my favorite game. Favorite game series, I should say. I got into it pretty late, actually. I was the first time I ever saw Dragon Age, there was Dragon Age Origins, was when I was a kid. And I was in a toy store that also sells games. And I remember looking at the cover and I was like, oh, Dragon, it says Dragon Age. I like dragons. So I picked up the box and I read the back of the box and I was like, I don't know, there's not enough dragons in here, so I put it back. Yeah, it's funny. And
I mean, to be fair, yeah, there's only like two.
Two, yeah.
There's like two, and you fight.
No, three. There's if you count Mythal. If we count yeah, but still, I know what you mean.
Yeah. So years later, when I was I must have been 18, I think. So that's I'm 24 now. Math. So that's like a couple of years ago. A friend actually recommended Dragon Age Origins to me, and she said, yeah, there's this game, and you can play an elf and a dwarf, and you can do magic and stuff. And, I mean, I'd played Skyrim. I liked Skyrim a lot, so I was like, yeah, this is kind of my thing. I like it. But then she told me about the different origins that you can have in the game, and I remember just being amazed, like, what? She was like, well, if you pick an elf, you get this start of the game, and then if you pick a human, you get this origin. And I remember just being amazed. And that's when I decided to check out the game, and I was just hooked right away.
Yeah. What racing class did you play first?
Mage and elf.
Mage,
so,
do you like
yeah.
do you like elves?
Nice.
Are you still a fan of elves in Inquisition today?
Oh yes, I am obsessed with elves.
Well, no, it's definitely the right way to be with all the elven lore going forward. Like,
Oh yeah,
you know,
it's an elf's world now.
yeah, literally.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are like, please, no more elves. I just
Oh, that's a shame.
want dwarf and dwarf. And I'm like, yes. I
More
was like,
elves.
yes, more elves, please give it to me.
Yeah, no, I agree to more elven content because just the idea of the Evernuris and the Forbidden/Forgotten ones, and all of the stuff in the Vidafar, it's exciting. But also, I would like that level of dwarven lore and Qunari lore too.
Yeah,
But
I
here's
agree.
hoping,
I
right?
agree.
Yeah,
I would like a
Yeah.
more balanced experience. I admit that what we're getting with the elves is very, very fascinating. Like,
Yeah.
really, the elves were kind of like, with their lore, but
Yeah.
then Trespasser hit, and it pretty much flipped everything we thought we knew on its head, and like, okay, now this is this is getting good.
And to be
Yeah.
fair, the Descent DLC did the same with dwarves. It was like,
With dwarves,
dwarves, they got really cool stuff. There's a lot of background behind them, and origins really fleshed it out with Jennifer Hepler. And then it's like, oh, by the way, Titans, and you're like, oh, yes.
Honestly, I remember saying this a while ago, but I feel not this video, but I feel like Descent and Trespasser were the current writer's way of kind of retconning previous previous lore established in Origins, which I've said you shouldn't look for if you want to try to guess where the series is going. And it's their way of like kind of saying, yeah, the sources were wrong. This is what actually is the case.
Yeah.
And this is what we're
Yeah.
going for.
This is what the Sharbatal tells us, which is they've been,
Yeah.
they've been before the law that was established in Origins. Yeah.
It's a clever way of basically retconning
Yeah.
lore you don't want to work with anymore.
Yeah.
Like it's so easy to just say, yeah, the sources were wrong. You're uncovering a secret by making the player feel like they're uncovering a secret. it's a good way to like cover over. Yeah, we retconned this because we don't really like that all that much.
You know all that stuff that Jennifer Hepler wrote, and you know she left BioWare of Dragon Age 2. Yeah, let's just cover that over a little bit with just well, yeah, the dwarves have lyrium etched in stone, and no, now this is there's this entire gargantuan beings.
Hey, now they're a hive mind.
yeah, I do like what they've done though, and
Oh yeah.
I think going forward though, and we're gonna get it obviously, but the Qunari lore.
The
now,
Qunari is going to be focused a lot on Dragon Age
yeah.
4, I believe. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Just with the Tevinter invasion and getting, and that's why I really appreciate the Dragon Age comics. Is just said this last time, just how well covered they are with Qunari. I just hope that isn't a substitute because of the lack of them in Dragon Age 4. I do hope that it's equal amounts, but I'm sure.
I think it's just like it's a. What's what I'm looking for?
Primer?
Okay, it's getting us ready for the
Yeah.
amount of Qunari content that we're going to get in Dragon Age 4.
And even Tevinter Nights,
it's prepping us.
Yeah, and Tevinter Nights like Free Trees to Midnight about the Qunari enslavement camps and taking Strife and Mirian. It's just building this different aspect of Qunari lore that I'm excited for.
I love Tevinter Nights.
Yes, yes. What's your favorite story?
Dreadwolf Take You, of course.
Yeah.
Come on, that's so easy.
I know, it's so easy, yeah. But they're also
you're
good.
not wrong. You're not
wrong. You are not wrong at all.
It's hard to pick one, really.
If we take Dreadwolf Take You out of the equation, what would you say your top 2 are?
My top without Dreadwolf Take You.
Yeah, without
It's because it's like the obvious first place.
Yeah, I really like the one with Strife.
Yes,
was it Three Trees to Midnight?
Yeah, 3 Trees to Midnight.
And why are you making me do this?
Pop quiz. Welcome to the show.
I have to say, I also really enjoyed the one with Philem Bard and what are their names again?
Philem, what's that? Oh, you got me in this. What's it called? What's that one called?
I don't remember.
Brother Chain TV dies in the end.
Yes,
That's it.
that one.
Yes.
I really enjoyed that one.
God.
I know, right? Spoilers. He doesn't die in the end.
Okay, thank you, Jack, for blatantly lying to me.
Have you not read it?
Oh, I've read it. I'm joking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's his Marshall. I love that one because Rasan was in it too. The whole, the amazing Qunari female who's going forward. It's like, is she going to be an antagonist? Is she going to be, just more of her? Just yeah.
Things we really don't know. It's all up in the air whether or not these book characters are even going to be, a thing in the game. So
that's
fun
the thing. We love it right now, but if they're not in the game, what's our opinion of Twin Tonight's going to be when it's by the way, Lucanus isn't in it.
Oh, I'd be disappointed, man.
Yeah.
By the way, Solus isn't in it. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, the Dreadwolf. Yeah, no, that was just a story, but the real game's going to be about the maker. I don't know, whatever.
Salos, of course. It's going to be at Salos, of course.
yeah, Salos. Yeah, it's alter ego. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope they at least mention some of the Tevinter Nights characters.
Yeah.
In the
I
game.
imagine they could be like little cameos somewhere. Like you can see some of them in the city or venturing out. Like, I don't think all of them are going to necessarily be like key figures in the narrative of Dragon Age 4 because the writing team's not going to base their entire narrative around a random selection of characters. But I guarantee you they'll find a way to slide them in.
Yeah.
And low references. Like if the girl from the Cassandra movie is seen and referenced in Dragon Age Inquisition, then I think the Tevinter Nights guys have a good chance of being referenced in some way.
Yeah, and for the people that have read Tevinter Nights, they're gonna be like, "Hey, I know this character."
Yeah.
Exactly. It's a nice little nod. Yeah.
They can't make the Dragon Age 4 so that if you haven't read this book, you're not gonna understand. They can't do that.
No,
they're not gonna.
They did that with
Masked
Masked Empire. And I love Masked Empire, but if you didn't read Masked Empire, a large part of the Civil War and Briala and Celine, you're like, I didn't get that from that side.
It goes over your head.
You're like, I didn't get that at all.
I see. I always did the Triple Truce, right?
Yeah.
And then I read Masked Empire, and I'm like, what the fuck did I do? Orlais is doomed.
It's gonna be interesting because I haven't read not Tevinter Nights, Masked Empire yet. I'm gonna read it next. I'm currently reading
everyone's a piece of shit.
Yeah, so it's gonna be interesting for me. I wonder what my next pick will be next time I play Inquisition, because I'm currently still reading all the books and playing all the games in order that they happened.
Yeah.
So I'm currently reading Asunder.
Oh, I love Asunder, yes.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting when you see like the transition of Cole from David Gator's Cole to Patrick Weeks' Cole, and obviously Patrick translated Cole very well, but yeah, it's an interesting transition for sure.
He's very different.
An interesting idea that Nunzio de Philippus and Christina Weir had, the comic writers, was with the idea that Dragon Age 4 was going to be live service. They were like, oh, maybe Veya, Sir Aaron, I mean, spoilers for, maybe Veya, Francesca, Fenris could be multiplayer characters if the game was going to be multiplayer. But obviously now it's not going to be multiplayer. They were a little bit saddened because maybe it means that those characters might not appear in the future. Again, no confirmation on that. That was just their opinion. But that's interesting, you know. Maybe some of Svinternice's characters were originally going to be multiplayer characters that you would maybe play in whatever mod they were going to do. But now they might not appear in it because they're removing the multiplayer. Hopefully they will. But it's an interesting idea.
I mean, here's the thing: nothing's stopping them from making some sort of multiplayer mode in the future.
Yeah,
because I wouldn't mind I think the Inquisition multiplayer. It's fun. You know, I think it's fun.
It's all right.
And I wouldn't mind something like that coming out after the main game. You know, if it doesn't take away resources and time from the main game, and they just make it for the hell of it. Sure, great, I'll play it, and they get to have all these cool characters from the franchise be playable. Like, I'll do it. I want to play Fenris.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, Lisa, have you been playing Mass Effect Legendary Edition?
Oh yeah, I've played it all. Yeah.
Good. Oh, good.
I love it.
There's been rumors that apparently they were going to announce, and this can move on to our next topic, but apparently there was a rumor that at EA Play 2021, BioWare were going to announce the multiplayer mode for Legendary Edition. Obviously, that's not going to happen anytime soon because BioWare are not going to be at EA Play. But they could do that, you know, release a multiplayer mode for Dragon Age 4 later on once the main game's done. And then they can have their live service or, you know, gameplay revenue systems later on. Yeah. After we've got the main game.
Yeah, I'd buy it or whatever. I'd get it.
Yeah. Me too. Or I'd play it or whatever it would be. But we'll you know, like for now at least it's going to be single player, which is great. But what did both of you guys think of Dragon Age 4 not showing up at EA Play?
I was a little disappointed, but I understand if they haven't got anything new to show. I'd rather they just keep working on the game rather than like just making something just to show on EA Play and having them waste their it's not waste, but like spend their time on that while they could be spending it on making the game.
I agree.
I would say that same camp. I would rather have a full trailer that shows off gameplay than 5 more pieces of like concept art and still images for us to dissect for months at a time. You know, like, don't get me wrong, every time a piece of concept art is posted, I go bonkers because it's great.
Yeah, it's amazing.
But you can only do so many trailers of what's it gonna be before, you know, you start getting like, okay, can we actually like, you know, see something now?
Yeah.
And I feel like if they were going to be at EA Play, it probably would have been something along those lines.
Yeah.
So I think giving them time to work on it more until they have something more, you know, substantial to show, I think is great, because when they do eventually show something at like, you know, the Game Awards or something, it's going to leave a much larger impact.
It is a bigger mark. Like,
even
though, you know, I'm strived for content at the moment, in the long run, it's going to... in the long run. Like, last year, when they did show something at EA Play, BioWare probably thought, this is going to be great, the fans are going to enjoy this, and everyone kicked up a fuss because it was just prototype shots. 12 seconds.
Exactly. And like, the same thing would happen.
Yeah, they probably think, they probably think, it's going to be great because at least they're seeing something of this game. It's an early production, but in reality, the fans go, "Why are we seeing this? What is this?" And it just kicks up a huge fuss. So in reality, they are saving themselves, because if they just showed us prototypes again, you're like, "All right, guys, like this again," you know. And I think in my honest opinion, the only thing that I would have liked to have seen at EA Play, and the only thing that I expected, was just a title at this point. That's the only
title.
thing. That's I wouldn't have minded. I wouldn't have minded just Dragon Age. Literally. I just want a title because I just don't want to call it Dragon Age 4 anymore.
We need to like do a drinking game every time someone mentions how they want to just see a title for this game to take like a shot.
But
we'll be under the table in no time.
The thing is, Mass Effect Andromeda, when it got its first ever trailer, it had a title. Dragon Age Inquisition was with its first ever trailer, it had a title. Anthem, although it was renamed at the last second, its first ever trailer, it had a title. Dragon Age 4 has been known as the next Dragon Age game
Do they
since...
even know what they're calling it? That's what I want to know.
I know. That's the worrying thing. It's been known as the Dreadwolf Rises, Dragon Age 4, the next Dragon Age game. I would just like Dragon Age Imperium, Dragon Age Eclipse, Dragon Age Dread, whatever they're gonna call it. Just a title. But hey, I'm sure we'll get that whenever we do see the game at some point this year. But yeah, that's the only sad thing for me. I didn't care about gameplay. I didn't care about prototypes. Just that title.
We'll get it. Don't worry, Jack. Mark my words. You can quote me right here. We're gonna get it by the end of the year.
I hope so.
Yeah, me too.
And if not, well, you know who to blame. So.
Are you gonna eat a shoe, Marshall?
Oh no!
Ooh.
I know.
Probably. I don't know. I like my shoes. So.
I did say, yeah, I said on a live stream, which I regret now, that if we don't see anything this year, play 2021, I'm going to eat a shoe live. And,
oh man, well, if you're going to force me to eat beans whenever I come over to, like, you know, quarantine your place, I will make you eat that shoe live on stream.
Oh no. Oh,
gun to your head, eat the rubber.
Oh, you heard it here, folks.
Beans are good though, Marshall.
No,
I
yes.
don't,
thank you, Lisa.
No,
thank you.
Let me make one thing clear. I liked baked beans. I think they're very great, but I don't think they're good for breakfast, and I don't think they're good on bread. All right, like that's just weird. They're good. They're a good side, like a side for a larger dinner. But no, I'm not gonna eat them for breakfast. I want to go tooting around all day. You know,
this is Europeans have just better breakfast. I'm sorry, it's just
Europeans are weird.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay, I see.
Oh shit! I'm gonna get canceled. Oh, no.
England may have left, you know, Europe economically, but we're still in the continent of Europe, so
Exactly.
you're offended both of us there.
You're outnumbered here,
Yeah.
friend.
Oh god, I'm surrounded. Oh, they're gonna attack me with their affordable health care.
It's true.
Yep.
Lisa,
man.
what's something that you're excited to see in the next game?
Everything.
Yes,
Um,
yes. That's what we're talking
everything.
about.
I had made a list of things I want to see in the next game because
go for
I'll
it,
be
yeah.
excited no matter what. So
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just gonna. Where is my list?
It's just a scroll that just keeps going and going and going.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna name some things and I can iterate
Absolutely.
on them afterwards because it's kind of a lot. Let's see. Besides the Solar Veil enclosure that I want, I want something along the lines of the Citadel DLC where you have in the Mass Effect where you have the house. Something along those lines, but more in the because we're gonna be a nobody, so obviously we're not gonna have a whole castle to ourselves, but just a small, cozy, customizable player hub, or something like a hideout. I want a better or more detailed dialogue wheel. References to I think that's gonna be that they're gonna do this, but I want some references to events and choices you made in the previous games or cameos from characters.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure they're gonna do that.
At least with Dorian. I mean, he's got to be there.
Oh yeah. So banter, or rather more banter more often.
Yes, more
Yes,
banter.
yes, absolutely. Increase that timer, BioWare. Not every 15 minutes. Do it every 5.
Exactly.
Please, I don't want to sit there waiting for Dorian and Ironbolt to flirt for like
I know.
2 hours. I gave up. I was like,
walking around the hissing wastes, like, please just flirt.
Same
please,
thing, guys.
please
Come
just
on.
like check each other out for the love of God. I think it should just be like, I don't know what they're gonna do, considering it's not like a Dragon Age keep thing. I think they might pull a spoilers for Mass Effect 3. I think they might just pull a garrison tally. Where if you don't romance either of them, they get together.
Oh yeah,
So-
I heard about. I romanced Gareth, so that didn't happen in
Yeah.
my game. But
it's so funny. You go to go say hi to Garrus, and then he and Tally are just like canoodling and like,
Oh,
Shepard.
what's going on here?
oh, is that like right before the last mission?
It's like right before the point of no return. You know.
Yeah.
Like, there's cuddling and shit, and it's
Aw,
like so
that's-
it's so cute.
It
And
is
I was like,
That's
ooh, you guys like each other.
In my game, they were just talking to each other because they're standing there as well, but they're just talking to each other. If you go,
Yeah,
on,
no, they are
together.
up in each other's business.
Oh.
Leah sharing straws.
Mhm.
Aw,
Dextro
that's
straws.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
is cute.
Oh, what were we talking about? Dragon Age? I don't fucking know.
Yeah, I could talk about Mass Effect as well, but yeah,
Oh,
Dragon Age.
that'll be a different episode entirely.
Yeah. Where was I? Right. Yeah. So more interactions with your player characters, like race and class. Like if you're playing a mage, like have it matter more. I just want the characters in the game to mention it more. Or if you're a Canary, like I don't know what effect it'll have in the in the next game. But
I want more dynamic racism in my games.
But if you're a Kunari walking around to Winter, unless you're a slave, that's forbidden. So it's like
definitely.
Yeah, there should
think
be.
That's a great dynamic to have. I think Baldur's Gate 3 has done this very, very well.
I have
what
not
I've seen.
played. I have not played.
I haven't played either. I've watched some gameplay. I'm waiting for that game to actually be done.
Me too. Yeah,
Pick it up,
me
you know.
too. Yeah.
it's really good. I've played it a few hours. It's really good.
It looks amazing. It really does.
I mean, Larian they're a great studio. I love Divinity, so I have high hopes for Baldur's Gate 3.
And the amount of patches they do as well. Like they just announced one literally coming out like this week or something. Or just came out.
Yeah, it's today.
It's
it
today?
comes out today. Yeah, it's today.
Oh wow!
On a side note, have you watched the panel from Hell that they did?
I did not know what did they do.
So good. They had a whole live stream where the Twitch chat could like vote on what they would do. So they had like they called it a LARPG. And they had like a Dungeons and Dragons party. Like they filmed it in a castle in Belgium, and everyone was dressed up, and they just had like a little Dungeons and Dragons adventure, and it was all for the marketing for the patch 5.
So
But
cool.
funny enough, I did when I was looking around for some stuff to do at Newcastle, where I'm going to be doing grad school. I did see D&D in the castle at Newcastle, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And then it's like $200 to play. I'm like, oh, that can wait.
Do you need a castle? That's how they get you at 200. To be fair though, the amount of castles in the UK, you could just go to like. We could just just go with an old
sneak in with some friends and just like all right guys, roll for initiative.
But I hope BioWare step up their marketing for Dragon Age because Larian is so transparent. Obviously, when it gets closer, but the amount of transparency from Larian, and I think what's he called? Sven, and he's such an amazing producer, director, whatever he is. Just how transparent and open he is. Like, guys, we're working on these small patches. This is what we're doing. The game's going to come out next year, but we're doing really well with early access. It's just so nice, transparent, and refreshing. And obviously, the games industry is getting into that. Just being more transparent, less being a brand and being people. And I do hope that BioWare open the lid and just do that too.
Yeah. Any company
need.
I think BioWare would do it well.
Yeah, they would do it well. Yeah, they need the transparency, to be honest. They need to just be like, yo, this is the game. It was made to be live service, but it's not anymore. And this is what we're doing. And we want to tell a great story. The game isn't going to be as grand as you think it's going to be in terms of the scale. However, we're focusing really well on the story and making it as good as possible.
The thing
That'll
is,
be great. Honestly, that's just transparent, and that's it. That's all we want.
The thing is, Larian is working pretty much independently.
Yeah,
BioWare has.
Yeah, they have. Yeah,
the creeper over the shoulder.
The evil, the worst company of 2011 or 2013 in America, or whatever they were, whatever year it was. But at the end of the day, EA are still EA. Although they have a new slap of paint, that's a different discussion. But
there's a lot of worse companies out there. Like there's always gonna be a Konami out there. So.
Yeah.
Should we stop talking about Dragon Age 4? Start talking about Dragon Age 5 now, or?
Yeah.
Should we segue into it? So Lisa brought on a discussion of the Wardens, the blight, and just talking about the future of it all. How do we even start this?
Lisa, how do you think the Wardens and the blight will come into play in the future of this franchise?
It's not that I think they're doing it, I just really want them to do this because I think it would be awesome. So we started out as a Warden with the blight and everything, and that's what introduced us to the series. And I think it would be a nice idea to close the series off with that same
Yes. Yes.
Marshall greatly approves.
All right, I am a sucker for that kind of narrative fulfillment.
Yeah.
Because when everything just kind of comes back, it's like how in a stand-up show, the final punchline is the first punchline from the start of the performance.
Yeah.
Or I suppose, huge spoilers, but in Endgame, the final piece of dialogue is, the final piece of dialogue for Iron Man is, I am Iron Man.
I am Iron
Man. And that was that was his final one in the first movie, and it just comes full circle.
Yeah,
That kind of stuff
Yeah.
I like
I
that
am
as well.
I'm a sucker for. So I definitely agree that I want the final game to be particularly a double blight.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was thinking like I wouldn't want the game to be the exact same as Origins, obviously. So I was thinking like maybe what if you're not a warden recruit, but you're like maybe a senior warden, like a full warden, maybe like Duncan was, and instead of being a recruit, you have to actually go out into Thedas and look for new wardens yourself rather than
Oh,
being recruited.
that would be cool. I never
Yeah.
thought about that before. That's a really good
Yeah,
idea.
that's not how at all I mentioned. That's a very
That is
unique take on it. Yeah.
That is very unique.
Yeah, I don't know. I just really like this idea. I've talked about it in the Discord a lot as well. I think if you play this as a like long-time Dragon Age fan, it would be fun to compare the like both Dragon Age 5 and Origins and see the difference between the first and the last game and the things we know about the Wardens then and what we know now. And I don't know, I think it would be fun to compare the two. And when I first started playing Dragon Age Origins, I was like, yeah, the Wardens are so good. They're like superheroes. They defeat the Blight, they fight the Darkspawn. And I mean, there's the joining in Origins where if you refuse to joining, Duncan kills you. It's like, well, okay, maybe they're not that good, but especially with the things that we learn in the other games, it's like, well, maybe the Wardens aren't that good, and because there's things happening in YSL and stuff, and I think with that knowledge, it would be very interesting to have another game that's fully about the Wardens and defeating another Blight, or maybe even a double Blight.
I agree. I agree.
So badly want the final game to be a double blight, and
Yeah.
it's gonna. If that's the case, it'd be a two-front war. I think depending on what wardens are left alive in your world state
Yeah.
will dictate how it goes down. Because like obviously, Alistair could still be alive. Your warden commander could. Your Hero of Ferelden could still be alive.
Logan,
Stroud could be alive.
yeah.
Carver.
Blackwall.
Carver, Blackwall. Like there are so many ways that you could have X amount of notable wardens who could still be viable options in your world state.
Mm-hmm.
That could be one front, and then you could have another front be like your characters from Dragon Age 5, whoever they are, whoever your character from Dragon Age 5 and their squad. Even though as much as I want the final game to not introduce barely any new characters, I mean, it's probably going to happen.
Probably could, but you could just have the entire party from previous games, literally like end game, and I'm referring to that a lot, but just no new characters other than obviously Captain Marvel, but then bringing back everyone else.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They would have to find some way to write that in, because that's very difficult. Obviously, the Blight would be a very unique way to draw everyone together, but they need someone to bring them all together, some center focal point. And we have to figure out what that is. And the reason I don't want any new characters is because if Dragon Age 5 is going to be like the last one, you don't want to have to spend time getting to know new people.
Yeah, just full action.
Of course, it could be done well. For
like
instance,
Mass Effect 3. Yeah.
No, Mass Effect 3 is a bit of a double-edged sword. James, I don't care about James.
Yeah, no.
But Trainer and Cortez, I think they're great characters. But then again, they are also minor side characters that get some love. They're not the full-on party member like James is. You know, if I'm running around and it's the Reaper War and everything's going to shit, I don't care about this brand new guy. I'm going to stick to the people I've been with for the entire franchise, like Garrus, Tally.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And Liara.
Yeah.
The aliens. All the aliens. No humans.
Yeah, all the aliens. Yeah. This is anti-human establishment. Also, from like a writing perspective, it's hard to write in entirely unique characters when you're also trying to
round off
plots and character arcs, you know.
And they've got so much to round off too. Well, from what we can see, we don't know the jigsaw puzzle, but there's a lot to round off.
And of course, I definitely think like whatever this dual blight's going to be, I think Mythal is going to be at the center of it somehow.
That's what my point bringing into this is. I think that this is a great idea because the Blight was the original threat of Origins, and it's still a threat right now. And even Mephlemmith says, "I laugh at a world full of stupid humans who ignore the Blight's evil and abandon their vigilance to pursue mortal goals." Even she recognizes it's evil. Even Solas recognizes it's evil, and therefore I assume both of them will want to stop it or whatever. They're afraid of it to some capacity. It's the true threat of Dragon Age, and it always has been. There's always been some tie to the Blight, Darkspawn in every Dragon Age game. And I think that at the end of the series, the Blight is going to be the big villain. Whatever shape that may be, if it's Mafal, if it's a Blighted Titan, whatever, I think it's going to be the final.
I don't know, because obviously we have 2 archdemons left.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
And how are they going to be handled? You know, like, are they just going to both go "Rawr" at the same time? And then all of a sudden we got... Wait, do we even know where they are? Like, I don't even...
The Great Wardens know. The
The
Wardens
Great
know.
The Wardens know, but we as, like, the fans don't know
we don't.
where
No, we
no.
don't.
they this
They're just hidden.
So they could be like, you know, Anderfell's Ferelden, or they could be
Anderfell's Saharan,
Anderfell's-
whatever.
Anderfells.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Yeah.
the Anderfells are fucked. You know, like,
Or it could be a
But-
two-headed dragon. It could be the
Or
same.
that.
You
but-
know,
I
there's-
don't, nah. I think a dual blight, but again, like, how would that play into Mythal being the final boss? Which I definitely think is going to happen from this current narrative we are doing.
yeah.
Because
No, it's
you know,
Okay.
is
Well,
Mythal going to try to use the power of the
she
blight to
is-
destroy the Evanurus? You know, I
she
don't know.
created the blight, or her aspects of her are inside the old gods, and she's picking up all of the other aspects of herself or of the other Evanurus. It's a
don't
chaotic
know.
theory, but we don't know. We don't know unless it ties to her. But she speaks the calling, so why the hell does she speak the calling? So she does have ties to the blight. We don't know though.
You know,
If she does have ties to the blight, though, why would she call it evil? You know, like if she is a blight, she wouldn't call herself evil, would she?
I mean, you know,
Maybe she does. Maybe she's self-aware.
Maybe. Maybe.
I just want, like, I just want to know what the point of, like, getting all the souls are. You know, like, what's the point?
To re-establish herself after being fragmented because she was split by the Evanurus. It's an idea, but like maybe she was split into different pieces when the Evanurus killed her, or they thought they killed her, and she's collecting those pieces. Maybe when Solas sundered the veil, he split the Evanurus into different pieces, and that's why you have the physical entities being the archdemons, and then you have their spiritual entities being locked away behind the veil, whatever. You know, tinfoil away, but something like that. That's at least what we've got at the moment.
And the only thing that could stop them is the Grey Wardens, because fuck yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I would love nothing more than the mother of all dragons to be the final boss of Dragon Age.
Be so epic.
I know, right? It would be great.
Please, BioWare, give
It would be,
give it
yeah,
this.
it would be eponymous of the franchise, and we know Morrigan is going to inherit the next age and give it a name. There you go, Mother of Dragons, sorted.
Yeah.
What's the next age going to be called?
Griffin Age,
Griffin,
Kieran,
please, yes.
Kieran Age.
Kieran. I do. I'm so sad that Kieran is based on your world states, because I would love to see him in the next Dragon Age, or a potential Dragon Age 5.
He probably very much will be if he's in your world state.
The problem is they can't make him very big, because he might as well
Yeah,
not exist
yeah.
in some world states, and
You're
that's
right,
that's
yeah.
kind of sad.
That's the thing. Like, unless they retcon and say, unless they make they can't make Ephemial Soul a big deal, but they could say that perhaps if Mafal didn't get Kieran's Ephemial Soul, then maybe she had a previous Old God Soul. But even then, that's a bit of a a skew whiff.
Yeah.
But like something that
We don't even know.
makes me-
Okay, like, we don't know what the importance of those are, anyways.
We don't.
That's true.
But something that
yeah.
makes me afraid is Patrick Weeks and Karen Weeks say that they don't have Kieran, and I think that they don't have Kieran is because they themselves have kids, and they know the sacrifice that it takes. Because obviously Morrigan literally says to Flemeth, to Mafal, like, don't have him, have me instead. And obviously as parents, they understand that sacrifice, that they would do that themselves, and that's just going to be
Yeah.
heartbreak. That's just heartbreaking. That she obviously
Also-
she is going to do that, but it's sad.
Quick
Yeah.
tangent. You cannot tell me for a second that my hero Ferelden, who is father to that child, would not throw hands,
Yeah, it's true.
give him back BioWare.
Well, we do know that in Inquisition they tried to bring back the Hero of Ferelden, Hawk, and then have the Inquisitor there. They tried very hard. It just didn't work. But
Hopefully
That was
enough
Inquisition.
Hopefully enough people screaming at them that they could just use the Awakening Commander in replacement
Yeah,
of the Hero
Of course,
Ferelden.
of
there you go.
Yeah,
It's an
of
easy
course.
fix.
Hopefully they've been yelled at by that idea enough to where they're like, we'll try it out. Let's see
You know what?
happens." 'Cause
Fine. We'll give you what you want. Like, just make them, mute. They're mute. They can't speak. That's it. They are so tainted. They can't speak, but they're still alive. They're here to help.
or anything at that point, let us just choose the dialogue options. You know, like if people get pissy about how Hawk was written Inquisition, and then just like let us choose the dialogue options. It would be funny, extremely funny, to just talk to yourself.
It
But
would.
hey,
I,
then people can't complain because you're making the choices.
and you're talking to yourself. But I think they'll do that with the Inquisitor. I do. To some capacity, I think that the Inquisitor is going to be in next game for sure. Like that's not even an expectation. They have to. Like that's not even an expectation. They have to. Yeah. But what if we get to choose a dialogue as opposed to, well, your Inquisitor was really good, or they were non-religious, or they were this. Just have us choose a dialogue. It makes it so much easier. And yeah, just do that. It's easy. And I'm going to mention this in a video that's probably coming out around this point. But an easy way to bring back the Inquisitor without them physically being there is just have the pendant. Dorian gives you the pendant, or Dorian's there, and they speak through that pendant. And it's just like Skyping, and then you just hear their voice. So then you just have the voice actors, the 4 different voice actors, do their lines. And there you go. The Inquisitor doesn't need to physically be there as a Qunari, elf, human, or dwarf. They can just speak for that pendant magically, and there you go. It's sorted. Like that's gotta be the way they're gonna bring it back. Like it's so easy. And then maybe like in the final act, the Inquisitor pops up, and it's like, all right, I'm here. Let's do it. But for the first early acts, through the pendant, it's so easy. Have a magical voice that appears. Sorted.
Yeah.
You're just wearing the pendant and hear the Discord notification sound. The Inquisitor's like, hey, it's
me. Crashing into VC.
Oh, someone joined voice chat. Solus, what are you doing here?
Wait, why are you listening?
You're
banned. You're banned. Get out. Kick him. Deafen.
Server mute Solus.
Yeah, I was gonna say the Inquisitor has to be there, especially when we're finally facing Solus. But
yes.
Back to the Grey Wardens. I was gonna mention, think of the things they could do for the endings, because there were a lot of possible endings in Dragon Age Origins because they didn't know they were gonna make a second game. And this time around, if it's the last game in the series, they don't have to bother with, well, what if this can't happen in the next game? And they can just go all out. It doesn't matter because
pull a Mass Effect 3 and make endings that drastically change the entirety of the world.
Yeah,
It's not like they're gonna make a Mass Effect 4 or anything. Also, I just thought of something. Going back to the to what the next age is gonna be called, I think Griffin Age would actually be very fitting, because if the Griffins are back, they could kind of take on the symbology of a phoenix, of resurrection, because they were literally almost extinct.
I like that.
That's very
nice.
So
an age based on the theming of coming back from the darkest of times would be a great way, because the Dragon Age has been kind of fucked. 3 blights in 1 age. Okay.
How about instead the blight wins, and then we have like the blight age, or the broodmother age, or the darkspawn age?
How about you stop talking? That would be funny though.
It would be. If they're gonna pull like Mass Effect 3, I mean, why not? You could. So
that's the rejection ending.
Yeah.
The Reapers
exactly.
win.
Yeah. So the thing I was gonna bring up, it would be cool if, like in Mass Effect, you'd need to collect resources of some kind in order to like have the quote unquote good ending, I guess.
Mm-hmm. The military strength system,
Yeah, something like that, but for Dragon Age. And I mean, it would make sense, sort of, if you have more resources.
It'd be great. And then you can have dynamic quests about, did you bring the Antivan Crows? How many Talons are left? How much of the Qunari? Did you start with Qunari? Did you start with Tevinter? Whatever,
I think it would be cool if, like, it was a accumulation of every, decision you've ever made throughout the games.
Oh.
What is your world state? Because we always go back to Mass Effect. But how people say how a lot of the reason that they were upset with Mass Effect 3's ending is it felt like your choices didn't matter.
Yeah.
What if they took that, criticism that people had, and depending on every choice you've made in the series, dictates something at the very end.
Yeah. I'd love that.
Who's in charge of Ferelden? How many Wardens are left alive? How's the Inquisition's military might? Who's divine? Like, all of these things combined will go towards the outcome of this potential double blight mythol nonsense, with Grey Wardens leading the charge to hopefully put it into all blights once and for all. And then the Titan shows up, because, a blight is just a Titan disease, so...
What's going to
Yeah.
be the one choice that's going to screw us over? Is it going to be that?
Oh my
if-
god.
if-
It's gonna
if-
be who drank
if
from the
Cullen-
well, I
No, if-
guarantee you.
Yeah.
If Cullen is still an addict, he comes and he attacks with his rabid
Oh,
lyrium
no.
addiction.
I don't think Colin's coming back, but
Oh, never mind.
I don't
Yeah, you're right.
think so
No,
either.
yeah. Just get a new voice
I don't know
actor.
what
by
it
the way.
is, but
Get a new
yeah.
voice actor. The character's
Yep.
good, but just
Oh,
get a
Jack-
new voice actor.
Jack,
could
audition,
do that.
audition for Cullen right now.
Llewellyn,
Say some,
you've been
Cullen,
in
say
Nordic,
some
no.
shit that like Cullenites will swing
Oh,
for.
I don't. What would he say? I'm not even a Cullen. I like Cullen. but-
Llewellyn, help me! I'm addicted to meth.
No, I'm not.
Llewellyn, please! I look like
I
my
don't want to
concept
take.
art.
I don't want to take that role. No, I'm good. I'm good.
They did it with Anders. They could have
You're
a different
right.
voice actor for it.
Yes. Yeah,
They
you're
did.
right. They did.
Yeah, they could just do that.
But
Hopefully,
I
please.
still I don't think they will, because I think Cullen's story is done.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty done. It
The
kind
only-
of came to a head.
The only thing that was cool was that he was like the C-3PO of Dragon Age, where he appeared in every single game. I don't
Yeah.
know if there's other than Mafal, who is she even going to be in the next game as Kate
Alistair,
Mulgrew?
Alistair potentially. Alistair
Alistair
potentially.
Yeah.
If he's king.
Yeah, and Liliana. Liliana's yeah.
Liliana.
And
Liliana.
Liliana.
Well,
Well, yeah,
yeah.
Liliana shows up at like the tail end of Dragon Age 2. I don't really know if you count that. but
Isabella, if you
technically-
count the multiplayer,
No, I don't count the multiplayer.
but I'm going to.
I'm calling. Okay.
Because you can play as it. But yeah, I that's the only reason I liked his presence. I'd like his presence, but I don't think he should be in Dragon Age 4 regardless. Because new continent, why would Cullen be in Tevinter? Well,
Yeah.
he needs his lyrium. No, just stay in Skyhold. Stay in the south. Go back to Honolith. He's from Honolith, right? Yeah, go back to Honolith.
Yeah.
With your
Stay there.
dog and your potential wife, I don't know. I just want my Warden Commander to come back.
Oh yeah, me too. Well,
That's-
my Warden commander is also
Right.
the Hero of Ferelden.
That's
so-
what I meant. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
There's such
Same-
an
same thing.
outcry, and I get it. They don't want to bring them back because of how hard it would be, but like there are so many easy maneuvers, and I'm not a game designer, and I'm not trying to disrespect anyone in that regard, but like make them mute.
Even then, they can just give them a voice, right?
Yeah.
Even if it's not the voice I imagined for my hero, I wouldn't be
That's for-
upset. I mean,
yeah.
I'd just be happy.
Like
I
think-
guarantee you, so many people are going to be so excited that the hero
Yeah.
is just there. They're going to overlook the fact that maybe their voice is a little too raspy for
But, like,
their
even-
liking.
I'm pretty sure the majority of the origin stories anyway are in Ferelden, so just give them a Ferelden accent. Like it makes sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're a city elf. Guess what? You've got a Denerim-like accent. Guess what? You were in the Elven clan. Well, yeah, I guess you could have a Welsh accent, but just give them like just Ferelden accents ish, because the game's
Yeah.
set. There, go for it. I get it. Like people do want to make their wardens their own and give them their own. I absolutely get that. But just for the sake of BioWare bringing back a historical, highly praised character, just give them a Ferelden accent and go for it. Sorted.
I
Yeah.
would really like if we got to choose who the next head warden is, and our hero is one of the choices.
Oh,
That
yeah.
would
That'd
be
be
cool.
pretty cool. But what were we saying, Lisa?
I was gonna say how many people want their warden and their hawk and their inquisitor all in one game. How many?
Everyone.
Everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone.
So that's what. No, this is what I'm saying, right? Dragon Age 5, two fronted war, two parties. One party consists of like the 4 previous protagonists, and the second party consists of your new game's protagonist and their
Yeah.
party members. So like it's your Dragon Age 4 protagonist, the Inquisitor, the Champion, and the Hero of Ferelden / Orlesian Warden Commander, just running in like, all right, guys, we don't know each other, let's do this. Watching.
Now,
They
yeah.
would. The only person separated would be the hero, because Hawk would know Inquisitor, and then Inquisitor is going to eventually know the Dragon Age 4 protagonist, and also Hawk could potentially know the Dragon Age 4 protagonist if you're a Warden, which I assume is a choice we'll get to make.
Yeah. I mean, Hawk could be in the Fade. That's the only problem.
Yeah.
That's why I said potentially, because
Potentially,
yeah, Hawk's going to Weissop if he's alive,
Yeah.
and if the trailers are to be believed and you get to choose your faction and you choose Grey Warden, I imagine Hawk just might show up.
Oh, yeah.
It's entirely possible, depending on
Now
where you.
we have this party of companions that we all like and love, and we know them. Let's make this a bit more interesting.
Uh-oh.
So I had an idea, because I think I heard the devs mention this as an idea for Origins. What if your companions could catch the blight and die in this potential Dragon Age 5?
Stop.
And
Stop.
That would be sick.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
they could catch the blight, and the only way to cure them is by hoping they survive the joining.
yeah.
And then everyone
mean-
becomes a Grey Warden.
You'd have to protect them from it, and I mean,
Oh my
maybe
God.
if someone catches the blight, and then you'd have to joining, and maybe
They
then
don't
there's
make it.
they don't make it, and they die anyway.
God,
And
I
it's-
would. All right, we're finding Darkspawn. Okay, only Grey. that way, it would incentivize you to bring Grey Wardens.
It would.
Yeah.
You know?
It absolutely would.
Just something along the lines of the suicide mission in
Yeah.
Mass Effect once again. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but maybe it's because I've played Mass Effect more recently and also for the first time. But I
It's,
feel
it's,
like
it's on a
the
lot of
stakes-
people's minds right now. So a lot of people
Yeah.
are drawing comparisons to what makes that franchise so great and how it can be used in another BioWare property. I completely get it.
Yeah, but I feel like the stakes in Mass Effect are much higher than in Dragon Age when it comes to your companions. Like you,
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
all of
At the
your
moment, for
companions
sure.
can die in the suicide mission, can't they?
Yeah. Yeah. Even
Yeah.
Shepard.
You,
even
you can
Shepard-
die.
Yeah.
You can die.
I agree, and I think that maybe in Dragon Age 4 or Dragon Age 5, the stakes are going to be high. Even one of the programmers, Katrina Barkwell, said in the behind-the-scenes trailer, having the choice of who lives or who dies. So hopefully, BioWare are going to step into that in Dragon Age 4 and Dragon Age 5. Of party members can die, you know?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I want more of a subtle choice, because here's one thing that I've noticed is that there's not too many sad moments in Dragon Age. You know,
We need
or
more.
like any sad
tragedy.
character,
Give us more.
any sad character deaths, because any character deaths that are substantial are probably directly your choice. Like, you know, you could be
Yeah.
torn up over choosing between Alistair or Hawk, but at the end of the day,
I was torn up.
you're
I
still
was-
you're still choosing, and it's not really like gonna hit you out of nowhere. The only one I can think of that kind of does that kind of like, oh my god, I couldn't do anything and now they're gone, is Hawk's mom.
Oh yeah, but
Yeah.
that's not even a choice. That just happens anyway. whatever you do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I want a mix of that, because like, here's the thing: Morden is someone you can choose in Mass Effect 3 whether they live or die.
Yeah.
But you know, you want them to stay alive, but you know for the greater good they should die.
Yeah.
It's like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So just like not directly a Hawk or a Stroud choice, but like certain pathways that could lead to that kind of thing, to where you know it was basically your choices, but it doesn't immediately feel like you chose option A or option B.
Like the Chargers versus a Cune, and then eventually that bites you in the ass because Iron Bull is now
those are
back to the
very
Cune.
Yeah.
That was so subtle. Obviously, if you kill the Chargers, what are you doing? I'm joking, but like,
Who are you? Where do you live? And where can I find you?
Funny
the
thing
only wrong
because,
choice.
Yeah, funny thing because the first time I played Inquisition, I don't know what I was doing, but I for some reason I missed the quest. I didn't do it,
Yeah,
and I think
yeah.
my
Yep,
game just
same.
defaulted to the
Yeah.
killing the Chargers, and I was pretty good friends with Iron Bull, right?
No,
so I was
it
playing, and
doesn't. It doesn't matter. If as long as you don't do the quest, he will
he's
still
still
be
the
a member of
Cune.
the.
He's still
He's
the
Ah.
still a member
Yeah.
of the Ben Hassrath,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
he will still turn on you.
I was so confused. I was like, but what?
yeah.
Yeah, no, here's a question I have. I don't know if any of you guys know this, because I've only had that happen to me one time during my initial first playthrough of Dragon Age Inquisition. I brought Iron Bull there because we're going against the Qunari. I want to bring Iron Bull there for narrative reasons, and of course he betrays me. If you just don't bring him, does he just like not betray you, or does he show up like, hey, it's me?
He shows up. Yeah, I think he
Oh,
shows
he
up.
shows up,
he
yeah.
shows. Okay, he shows up. Okay.
I heard one of my friends talking, and it says apparently in Mass Effect and Dragon Age, it's as if, I don't know specifically about Dragon Age, but in Mass Effect they frame it as if every single squad member is with you on every mission, but because of limitations, you only bring 2. I don't know if that's right, but apparently it's as if every member is on every single mission with you, but you just only see 2. I don't know if that's right or not, but
Well,
I mean, they act like
it would
they were
make
there.
They act-
yeah,
yeah,
they
yeah.
act like they were there. So it would make sense if, okay, Iron Bull was there, he just wasn't in your party, but he was behind
Well, no,
you.
they
whatever.
they don't do that in Dragon Age Inquisition. I know.
No, because Dorian's like, I wasn't there in the Fade, but
Yeah,
I,
Cassandra's
heard,
like, I didn't
yeah.
get to see Divine
But I
Justinian.
think
you know.
they do that in Mass Effect. I think,
they
especially
do,
in
yeah, but
3 when it's a smaller,
Yeah.
it's a smaller game, it's a smaller party too.
I'm like 2. Jesus Christ, there's
Yeah.
so many.
like 12,
Me too.
yeah, or whatever.
Yeah, one thing that all going back to the Wardens, I feel like at the end of the day they're like the heart and blood of the franchise because they're what I definitely think that they're what started the series. I think they're going to end it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's because of
That's
that whole
the way.
narrative conclusion thing that I mentioned earlier. I definitely feel like it's going to be a blight. It's going to be the blight, the final blight, and it's going to be the conclusion of so many plot lines. And somehow they're gonna write things in that we didn't expect, and that will make
no.
so much sense in retrospective. Like, oh my god, why didn't we think of that?
Yeah.
Of course,
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Varric's chest hair has the secret elixir that we need to cure the
Well,
blight.
It's like recently Mark Darrah in an interview, obviously he doesn't work there anymore, but Mark said, there are so many theories on YouTube that are incredibly right and so many that are incredibly wrong. And it's like,
Yeah.
some of what we're thinking is correct, but also some of what we're thinking is just like it's too far fetched, or it's like it's just not that deep.
Well, because like some of them you can like you
some
can
of us will
predict.
rise and some of us will
Yes,
be
some of them are
the
like
Evernearers
just
will
going
return.
off of like a narrative structure. You can predict loosely
Yeah.
where it's gonna go. You're not gonna get all the nitty gritty, but you can loosely predict. But one thing about the Wardens that I think should be explored, and so I finally have a chance to talk about this, is the cure for the blight.
Oh yeah, the cure for the calling, you mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've heard my crazy theory.
Oh no. Here we go.
Go ahead.
So it's the dragon nut. Let me explain.
What?
No, so there's only been one recorded person who's ever been cured from the blight ever.
Oh yeah,
Fiona.
Fiona. Yeah.
After she got, let's just say, gifted from someone who supposedly had dragon blood in their lineage. I think it's dragon's blood. I think dragon's blood is somehow resistant to the blight. For that reason, and the dragon in the Western approach, who grew a cyst around the blighted material of their flesh and stopped it from spreading. Stopped it from spreading. So the fact that after Merritt impregnated Fiona with Alistair, she was seemingly, which is supposed to be impossible, she was seemingly cured from the blight and popped out Alistair. And people would be like, but if Alistair has dragon blood, why can he get the blight? I don't think Alistair has dragon blood. I think he was a blank slate because the dragon blood and the blight blood mixed together and canceled each other out. And Alistair popped out a blank slate and was able to actually become a Grey Warden. But that's my crazy, that if I have any tinfoil theory on this Jackdaw channel, it's going to be
The dragon note.
it's going to be Dragon Nut.
That makes sense.
It
Yeah.
does make sense. It absolutely does make sense. And that would also mean that Kieran wouldn't have dragon blood as well, because there's a theory about Kieran having dragon blood and how significant that would be for him. But
if
Alistair doesn't have it,
that
then he
theory
wouldn't
is
have it.
correct.
Yeah,
If
Right.
that theory is correct.
Yeah.
Of course, that would also mean that the Qunari don't have dragon blood, if that theory is correct, because ogres are blighted Qunari.
Yeah.
That would, which of course, that's not confirmed. That's just what Iron Bull says some of his people believe. So we shouldn't take that as, oh, it's true. But
Yeah.
that's my big worry. Because, like, obviously the cure for the calling is also something regarding the Grey Wardens that has been a big thing. It's even what the Hero of Ferelden is currently
What they're
working
doing right
on.
now.
Yes.
It's what they're doing right now. So it has to be important.
Is it just a throwaway thing, though, for Bioware to be like, oh yeah, the Hero of wants on a cure for the calling? Or are they actually going to resolve that plotline? Because I think, at the moment, it's just a throwaway thing.
I think
I
at the
hope not.
moment, because again, we're talking like Dragon Age 5 shit, maybe DLC Dragon Age 4 shit.
Yeah.
We don't know when it's going to become apparent again that the calling is an issue.
I was thinking maybe our potential Dragon Age 5 player character, whoever that may be, I was thinking maybe either as a DLC, I guess, or maybe I don't know, at the end of the game. What if because is it true that no matter who you romanced or whatever as your warden, do they always go look for a cure for the calling, or is that because mine romanced Alistair and he is still alive, and so you talk to
Mine
him
romance
about...
mine romance Morgan, and he wasn't there for his. Oh, well, he was there for his kid, but he's not there with the kid in the garden. He's not with Morgan and the child there. He's off looking for the blight. So I think that's just what every
I think it's
warden is
canon.
doing.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's canon.
Yeah, that's just what they're all doing because it gives them a reason to not be there, essentially.
Alright.
Yeah.
It gives them a reason to still be doing something in the world, but not actively in the narrative of, Inquisition.
Okay, so in that case, I was thinking maybe what if our Dragon Age 5 character goes off in a DLC to pick up the search for the cure for the calling, pick it up where your Hero of Ferelden left off, or something like that. Maybe
that's actually an interesting theory. Does the calling just go away if you kill the archdemons?
Ooh, that's
Well,
maybe.
if Val speaks it, maybe not. Unless she.
Well, if you kill what if you kill her too? What if they're all
Yeah,
dead?
there you go. Yeah.
Oh, we don't know what's gonna happen.
Maybe.
Because I imagine if the archdemons going away, and this is kind of what's also freaky. What do the Darkspawn do? Their whole purpose is to look for archdemons and wake them up and then follow them to the surface. If there's literally no archdemons left, are they just going to keep endlessly searching, or are they just going to say, fuck it, let's go crazy and just run up to the surface all at once?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Because they could also bring back the architect, but that's another can of worms. He could be like the new head of an entire subterranean race of Darkspawn that just chill in the deep roads.
Just vibe.
Just chilling.
Because there's so many threads, and that is something that gives Dragon Age a lot of potential, but also hinders it a lot. Because with Mass Effect, it was very kind of cut and dry, because it was made entirely at the exact same time with the same writers and everything. They knew what they were doing from start to finish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they had a free game plan. It's been drafted since the start, kind of. Well, along the way, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Some things change, dark energy, yada, whatever. Yeah. But Dragon Age is different, and there's so many threads and plots that could be important, but could just be completely throwaway. Because like I said earlier, you shouldn't look to Origins for what's going to be coming up in the future.
Yeah. Other than the blight.
Yeah. Other than the blight, because, obviously, intelligent Darkspawn led by a Magister is something that could definitely come back for a future blight encounter. They were thinking about using him in Inquisition.
Yeah.
It's just you don't know, and because there are so many threads, you can't really pinpoint down exactly what's going to be a possibility. I mean, you can have all these possibilities, but you don't know which is more likely than the other for actually happening.
I mean, there are other ancient magisters out there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Apparently, yeah. There's somewhere.
Yeah.
I think there's at least two. I remember there was, I think it was a codex. Something about there were 3 and one ate the other, and I don't know. It's something.
But if they ate the other, wouldn't they just be like Corypheus?
I guess.
I don't know. I don't know.
I think a secret original Magister fight would be a fun secret boss in the game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Or just coming across one who isn't hostile, who's just like, you're right.
That's the architect.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
It really depends, because we say don't go look at Origins, but Origins was very much ending off on the future is Darkspawn.
Yeah.
And the future is not currently Darkspawn and the Blight, but it eventually will be, and it'll probably come and round it out. So is BioWare going to dig up those old threads and start tying them to new ones? We don't know, because now the Blight is something entirely different. Now the Blight is like a Titan disease that was used as a bioweapon by the ancient elves.
And you got red lyrium in the picture as well, which is carries the taint, and it's evolved into something else.
And you wonder how this all relates back to a version of orcs from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. I think that Solas might try and get the 2 old gods before they come tainted, but we don't know what that would mean at all. But I think he could do that.
Yeah, what would happen if an old god just woke up untainted?
I know, that's...
I don't know.
Yeah, that's the mystery. That is why I think he's going to do it. So
if anything, why do... Because they're not tainted. And then they get tainted. And then whose will are they following? Their own, or the will of the entire Blight? What will do they serve if they're tainted?
Do they follow the Blight, or are they the ones?
Honestly, it could just be a
malicious...
It could be a malicious Titan. It could be a malicious Titan.
Maybe,
and the calling could just be like the song that What's-Her-Face heard in the Descent.
Volta,
yeah. She heard things, right?
Yeah.
She did, yeah.
Yeah, so that could just be the calling. The Darkspawn could just be a big hive mind of this Titan trying to get vengeance on, the elves or some shit.
The elves, and it's creation if they actually created the Thedas as we know it.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So It could just be a sick, angry Titan using its hive mind powers to control an army of undead soldiers to find a dragon, to taint that dragon, to lead it to the surface where the Titan cannot go and destroy everything because its Titan lover was killed by the ancient elves. I don't know. I
Oh,
don't
it's
know.
revenge, huh?
Yeah.
This whole franchise is just one big revenge plot. I mean, well, with Mythal, it is, but
Yeah, it is vengeance.
True. True. It's hard to speculate because we
It
have
is.
no idea what Dragon
no,
Age 4
we
will
have,
bring.
and that's why it makes me even just more excited.
Yeah.
Because we've been shooting the same shots, the same crazy bullshit theories for years now, and it's fun. Like it's
Oh,
so
it
fun
is.
to just like talk with people who like the franchise, which is the whole point of this podcast,
Absolutely.
and just talk about many things. But at the end of the day, we all love to like craft theories all the time because we like seeing like I think it'd be cool if this happened, and we've been doing that for years. And so when things finally happen in Dragon Age 4, it could either confirm a lot of these theories or completely decimate them.
Yeah.
Like my two big ones are of course Dragon Nut, which I don't think will be confirmed anytime soon. But one thing that I think could be confirmed soon is how I think the Golden City is just Arlathan. And that's more likely to be confirmed soon since it's elf related and we're on the elf train right now.
Yeah. And we're always going to be on the elf train.
At the end of the day, it's all gonna just like be like a franchise about a bunch of random motherfuckers trying to save the world from impossible odds, and that is always a great story.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
That's what we all love.
No matter what the stakes, whether the earth is moving from under our feet trying to kill us, there's an angry horned lady trying to get revenge, or some furry wants to split the sky open.
In a
You know,
huge
it's-
persona. Yeah.
It's just a bunch of like people trying to do the right thing, and that's why we all love the franchise. Also,
Absolutely.
Griffins.
yeah.
Griffins are cool.
Griffins.
And I,
please.
Yes.
I want to romance Scout Harding. If they don't give me that, I'm done with the franchise, and I will swear off Dragon Age entirely.
Really though, really.
No, I won't. I'll just be I'll be angry about it on Twitter.
Well, I mean, we've seen a Grey Warden in the trailer, haven't we?
Yeah, a single one.
We have.
Yeah.
And concept art. Hell yeah.
Mhm.
And concept. Exactly. Yeah, we did. And I mean, from Dragon Age Inquisition, we know there's something happening at Weishaupt. So
Yes.
I am
Yes.
assuming that we'll be able to pick our faction, and assuming
so.
that we'll be able to pick Warden. I hope to see if
Please.
you pick that origin to see what's going on there, or at least get a glimpse of what's going on there. That's what I'm
Yes,
hoping.
I hope so too. Like that is such a huge plot point going forward. It could be nothing. It's not going to be, but it could be. But like the mystery of what's going on at Weishaupt. Is it Darkspawn? Is it Blight?
Griffins.
It's most likely Griffins, and that's
Griffins, oh, yeah.
exciting as hell. Oh, that I want to play as the Tevinter faction, whatever they are, if we can choose again. Obviously speculation, or an Antifa Crow, but just the idea of Griffins and seeing them young, that has me like, okay,
God,
I'll play as a Grey Warden again. Yes.
Oh yeah.
it's my little baby Griffin friend.
Yeah.
I
ju-
mean,
like, you know.
just like dog, but a griffin.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
yeah. Like Hero of Ferelden got dog, Hawk got dog, Inquisitor got no one. Protagonist
Sad.
gets Griffin. Oh, whatever. You know. I live to see it.
They get the Dragon Age Inquisition character gets a horse or something along those lines.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right, the mouth.
or like
Sure,
a Drake.
sure.
I rode the Dracolisk because it was cool.
I rode the Cunari horse because it looked really cool.
I didn't really use a mount because I just wanted to walk around and hope my my companions would activate the
Say
banter.
something.
Yes.
Yeah,
Wanna hear the
Say
banter.
something. Yeah.
Day 55. Dorian and Arable haven't flirted yet. I'm getting desperate.
Oh yeah.
I'm in the hitting wastes, walking, waiting. I would like to see like the plot point of like if there was a Grey Warden story in the game, going to Weishaupt, just saving the Griffins before Solas gets them. Because you know he lied. He lied about, oh, the Griffins are extinct. Yeah, you want us to believe that because you want one for yourself.
Why
So I
why would Solus want a Griffin?
Who wouldn't want a Griffin? I'm going to
Okay,
destroy this world,
true.
but hey, I may as well get a Griffin while
I need to save the
hatching.
Griffins.
Yeah? Come on, could you not see? I mean, I know he has like hordes of demons in the Fade that literally, like, he hovers on them, but he might want.
What if they
a
were? What if a
Griffin too?
pride demon rode a Griffin? I'm just saying.
Oh my god.
What if there was a massive wolf riding a Griffin, right?
Oh, that
No.
poor Griffin. Oh,
Yeah, I
they're not
know,
that big.
I could
Oh.
see him. I could see him stealing a Griffin.
I think if there's like
Up yours,
I imagine
Wardens!
if there is a of Warden plot, like a plot point or like a main mission, I think it would probably be whatever's going on up in Weishaupt is what's going to be
Yeah,
about.
absolutely.
Whether that is we need to decide what to do about the Griffins, or our
Oh,
current
yeah,
head or our current head ward commander is passed away or has gone to the calling. We need to vote on a new one,
Yes,
and
yes.
then we get to make our Hero of Ferelden the head commander.
Or Carver. Or
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 I
Carver,
don't know.
yeah.
Maybe I don't know. I don't think Carver has enough experience. How many years has it been?
or like Ramesh or Renesh, sorry.
Mhm.
Or is it Ramesh or Renesh? Ramesh.
Is that the new guy that's
Yeah, the
coming
new,
or?
new guy
Well,
in
I don't
Hero
think
of
it.
Hallmark. He's in his 50s.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, very
Yeah.
well could be. Yeah, but I think that it's either going to be one of those two things, and I think if we choose the Grey Warden faction, we're going to get a little taste of that before we come back to it eventually.
There's also Evka Ivo, who is a dwarf female. Who's
Oh,
a good
yeah.
one. She was in
Right.
Blights and in a
Yeah.
short story on Dragon Age Day.
Ooh.
That's right, yeah.
She could be. She was going to Weishaupt with Antoine, and Antoine seemingly was bitten by a werewolf, but the demon was killed. But the demon got awoken again, so it didn't get killed. So then, like, if that's the case, is Antoine going to become a werewolf at Weishaupt?
Can they bring back werewolves, please?
That's what it's into tonight's.
Good.
So,
Oh, thank God.
and Evka and Antoine are going to Weishaupt. Grey Warden Ramesh is going to Weishaupt, or he's going to deal with the tags.
Everyone's
going to
built-
Weishaupt.
I guarantee you something big is happening if they're building up why every Grey Warden is going to Weishaupt. What if it's because the hero found a cure for the calling and it's the
Ooh.
dragon nut? Okay.
But they stopped communicating with the South, though, so it's like, how would they even... The South won't be going to the Weishaupt. Well, obviously, Hawk...
Well,
or
who's
Alistair, or
left?
whoever it is.
Who's left in the South?
True.
You know,
Blackwell.
Blackwell's left in the South. A handful of Orlesian Wardens are left. They probably just like
They're probably like, screw
got
it.
who was.
Yeah,
They probably just got who was close by and important. No offense.
yeah.
And just said, "Hey guys, skirt on over here. We got some shit to talk about."
Yeah, because
And whatever that is, we're gonna interact with it in Dragon Age 4.
the Anderfels is the headquarters of it. The Weishaupt is the headquarters. Like, I'm sure like they have plenty of wardens in the area. You know, like again, Ramesh was in Navarra, Evka, Ivo was in the Anderfels. So it's like they're just gonna go, all right, okay, retreat back to the Anderfels, the senior wardens or wardens of Weishaupt, and deal with this shit, whatever it's gonna be.
Yeah, I'm excited regardless because whatever it is, it's big and it means it's going to dictate the future of probably the entire organization, which will, of course, heavily affect whatever the heck happens in Dragon Age 5.
Yeah.
So whenever we get there, we better make sure we know exactly what we're getting into and make sure we choose correctly because it's probably going to be one of the most important choices in the game.
I just want to see what's going on, and I just want to see Griffins mainly.
Hell yeah.
Well,
yeah.
there's the whole. I mean, the if you remember the Horror of Hormac story.
Yes, yeah.
I don't know how much that's gonna relate to the Wardens going forward, but I found that story really interesting, and I want to learn more about that.
Yeah. Ramesh said he was going to tell the rest of the wardens, but it's like if they're already dealing with griffins and other stuff, are they even going to want to help, or is Ramesh literally going to go on like a solo crew to do it, or is that why he's going to join our party? Like, who knows? But yeah, it's certainly interesting that he is taking that back to the wardens.
Something's going down, Wardens, and it's gonna be big, and I want to know what it is.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
I'm excited and scared because
Me too.
we need to make sure the Wardens make it out of there okay because they are our literal last line of defense for a double blight that is
Yeah.
just around the corner.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. It's
Yep.
certainly true.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I just want to see after Dragon Age 4. I just want to have a different perspective on the Wardens, I guess, because maybe it's because of Origins, but I'm still mostly in the camp of the Wardens are pretty great, you know. I just want to see the complete other side of that, you know.
Maybe being put in a position of power in the Wardens is a good idea.
Yeah, it's a
Giving
great
us
Yeah.
some control over a unit of Wardens
Yeah.
to help combat the blight. Might be a
Exactly.
good idea. Might be smart. And then, like you said, your idea is really cool. Going around and recruiting people to help join the cause. It's kind of like Dragon Age. It's kind of like Dragon Age Origins, where you have to use that old treaty to say, "Hey guys, you know, get it together. Let's go." But
Yeah.
it's that, but you also could potentially get companions out of it while also securing factions and to come together
For a final,
and
yeah,
for a
like
final for a final hurrah. And
yeah.
you go to the Inquisition, you go to
Yeah.
Red
you go to all
Jennies.
you go to the Red Gen, you go to all these places, and I found it. I found the one thing that connects everyone together. That treaty.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's it. That's the central point because everyone has to listen to that treaty.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that is the one possible thing that could make everybody come together under a common banner for
Yeah.
the final confrontation of the entire franchise in a narrative way that makes sense.
absolute sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the opposite? What's the exact opposite word of origins? Like,
Oh, hang on, let me look up I'm gonna
yeah,
thesaurus. Hang on,
yeah.
thesaurus, real
And you
quick.
could have it
Antonyms: conclusion, ending, completion, destiny. Ooh, Dragon
oh,
Age
Dragon Age
Destiny.
Dad.
Destiny.
Dad for short.
Dead.
Oh yes, I like it.
Outcome. Oh, here's a good one. Effect. Dragon Age effect.
Oh, don't. No.
Result. Consequence. Finale.
Ooh.
That's a
Finale. I mean,
consequence was good. Outgrowth. End. Close. Death. Okay.
Dragon Age death.
Dragon Age death.
Goal and termination. There you guys go. There's a list of what you heard it here first, folks. One of those things is gonna be the name of the Dragon Age 5.
There you go.
Pick your
That's
favorite.
It. Yeah.
Pick your favorite.
Pick your favorite down below.
I'm impartial to Destiny, Consequence,
Oh.
and yeah, Destiny or Consequence.
Dragon
Probably
Age
Destiny.
I like
Destiny.
Dad.
Dads. Yeah.
Dad. Yeah, I'm just doing my second playthrough of Dad real quick.
Dad. What kind of game is that?
Oh, it's great.
Defeated dragons and it's got elves in it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
You've heard of D&D, now get ready for DAD.
Oh.
Oh God.
But I think that's where we'll wrap up. Honestly, like that's been honestly great. Thank you so much, Lisa, for coming on. Like I really appreciate that. That was really like our first proper Landsmeet where we actually brought on a guest that we haven't spoken to before and just went for it. And it's been honestly amazing. So I thank you so much,
Yeah.
Lisa.
You're welcome and thanks. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have any
Thanks.
social medias or anything like that people can follow you on or anything?
I have my Instagram. Which
We'll plug it.
Yeah, just put it in the description, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
If
yeah.
that's
Check out.
okay. Yeah, I draw things, Dragon Age stuff as well. So yeah.
Yeah, check it out, guys. Check out Lisa's Instagram. And yeah, thank you everyone for listening. And if you have any questions for us to ask in future episodes, ask them down below and I can ask guests or I can ask whatever in future episodes. But I really appreciate it. And yeah, I hope you all take care and I'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye bye.